on because former Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumarasamy has written a letter to Chief Minister Basavraj Bommai urging him not to observe HindiDiwas in the state by using taxpayers' money. He says it would be a grave injustice to the people of the state of Karnataka. He says India is a land of thousands of languages and dialects, and it's a union of 560 princely states and territories. It's injustice to celebrate just one language. All right, so this is again a familiar ground of language politics, once again rearing its head, this time in Karnataka. This is, of course, on the back of the HindiDiwas celebrations, which Kumarasamy, the former Chief Minister, has written to the current Chief Minister saying it should not be at taxpayer expense. Let me go across to Ritu, who is joining us with more on this. Ritu, so what is the politics behind why H.D. Kumarasamy has taken such a stand?
Yes. So as we talk about this language war, we have seen how in the south, especially in a state like Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, who has been very specific about the language, and they have never stepped back from raising their voice. So this is now that we're getting to see how a former CM H.D. Kumarasamy is written a letter to CM Basavraj Bommai urging him not to celebrate HindiDiwas in the state, because he says that it's the taxpayers' amount, and thus because mostly in the Karnataka as well, it has never been observed in such a big manner. So thus it should not be celebrated. One, and then later on, you see, he also goes on mentioning, saying India is a land of thousands of languages, and and the diversity is what upheld in the state. And with all that, this is unlikely that the Karnataka people will celebrate HindiDiwas in such a big manner. So thus he is urging the state government to not celebrate and observe HindiDiwas. But previously too, we saw how the language war broke between the Sandalwood and Bollywood, and then we also saw the reactions coming in from the politicians, and H.D. Kumarasamy was also one among them who had also raised voice and in a way indirectly backing
But Ritu, what is the politics that the JDS is trying to play here? Because ultimately, all of this is in keeping with keeping an eye on the elections that are happening next year. What is the politics? Because it's not like the JDS, Mr. Kumarasamy's party, is some kind of a regional hegemon or a regional chauvinist party. It's a party which, of course, is a caste-based party. But then, why are they taking on this wider plank of anti-Hindi and promoting the local language, if you will?
True, but we see, in the past as well, wherein the BJP party somewhere had always backed the Hindi language and have never even opposed whenever there has been such a language law, because it's all that the BJP party has went on to listen to what BJP, the high command has to say, the central government has to say. But because previously as well, when Amit Shah too had put out a word about celebrating Hindi as in the national language, so that time too, the state government did not oppose it, and there was not even a single word that had come out from the state BJP. So that was also a time where we saw how the JDS had actually took a jibe at the BJP party, saying that why is that the state government is silent about it and not raising a voice. So since then, this has been a scene in the Karnataka wherein the Congress party and the JDS party had somewhere always taken jibe at BJP party, saying, why is that, you just have to go down to what the central government has to say and not look up to the state and the Kannada.
All right.
The Kannada language.
Ritu, we'll leave it at that. We'll see how this story plays out politically. So a first move being made by JDS chief and former Chief Minister H.D. Kumarasamy. Meanwhile,